All right, we're here for another match with our Isperia deck. We would like to play first. We have no white mana in this hand. We're up a bit against a mill commander, so it appears. We have an early boomerang, but the complete lack of white is not good when our commander needs double white. So I think I'm going to mulligan. This is better. If we can get to this one power stone, we'll be really happy. We're going to put that on the bottom. We do not want our Diluvian Primordial. I won't be playing Hypnotic Siren early unless I absolutely have to, because late game it's obviously a much better spell. So, yeah, I'll play... I will play our Pride of the Clouds next turn, probably. It'll just keep getting bigger, which is good. And if he wants to use removal on it early, I don't have a huge problem with that. All right. So Evolving Wilds gets him a land. Okay, I think now I play Coastal Tower. Hold off on playing the Pride of the Clouds. That way we can play Worn Power Stone next turn. And we're just drawing either an island or a plains or a land that produces one of those two colors away from playing our commander. So, Mist Intruder. So, not exactly sure what's going on here. Exiling stuff. But Mirko doesn't exile stuff, right? No, just put stuff into the graveyard. So, that's interesting. Waiting on our opponent now. So yeah, I'll play one Power Stone here. I'm not worried about a Mist Intruder too much. So I'll play our Power Stone, and if we have 2 turns, counting this next draw step and the one after that to draw the other color of land that we need. So we'll see if we do. All right. We do another land, which is good. It comes into play tapped, but I think we still play Worn Power Stone here. And have Oblivion Ring sort of ready to go on his commander or various other things. So there's our Power Stone. I think I probably, if I draw a land that comes into play untapped, play my commander this turn and see if he can deal with it. Okay, I'm kind of glad he had to play Mortuary Miner for not value. That probably means he doesn't have like as many lands in his hand as he probably really wants, but so that's good. Lightning Greaves. That's a different art for one than I've seen before. That will create problems for us. We won't be able to remove things as easily. And it also means his Mimir Vosk can just block our Isperia like all day long. But we can in turn block him, and we can Oblivion Ring it and then steal his Mimir Vosk potentially at a later stage in the game. See what gets ingested here. Yeah, we're only 1 land away from being able to bestow Hypnotic Siren, so Oblivion Ringing those Greaves is probably a good idea in our near future. And Regress. It's one of our bounce spells, one that can return any permanent. Would have been nice to have with our commander, but you're always going to get what you want. All right, well, we got Telepathy. That'll work out for us. We can't play our commander this turn, though. So he'll be able to play his next turn. I think I just Oblivion Ring those Greaves and play Telepathy. Maybe I should have played Telepathy first so I know exactly like what's in his hand. But I think I'm okay with this. We will remove the Greaves, play Telepathy, and then be able to know what's in our opponent's hand. We can steal his Mimir Vosk if we need to. Okay, so Ring of Xanthrid and Desecration Demon. That's pretty gross. The Desecration Demon, really. I'm not that concerned about the ring. Echoing Truth, also bad for us. He can bounce our Oblivion Ring now, and at least for a turn, get to use his Lightning Greaves. We at least don't have a creature under it, so he can't like use his Echoing Truth to bounce and like get a blocker. He must have a lot of colorless things in his deck since he's running Shrine of the Forsaken Gods, which is interesting because the commander he has isn't especially based on being colorless. I think chances are good he uses Echoing Truth on our commander. See what he ingests. What's he doing right here? I mean, if I were him, I'd probably play Desecration Demon. He does not know what's in our hand, and we know what's in his, so he doesn't know we can just steal his demon. But he does have Echoing Truth, which sort of negates that, so that's not so good. Okay, Ring of Xanthrid. Xathrid. All right. I don't mind an Aven Surveyor. He gets less value out of bouncing our Aven Surveyor than he does out of anything else. And we know he has Echoing Truth. So, I mean, I could play my commander, but I know he's going to bounce it. I'd like to actually keep my commander in play. I think for now it's better to just play the Aven Surveyor and bounce his Mist Intruder. If he bounces our Aven Surveyor, we get to bounce his Mist Intruder again, and we're perfectly okay with that. Seems more likely he may bounce Oblivion Ring so he can get one swing in with his commander. So we're going to return his Mist Intruder to his hand. And end our turn there. Still holding on to Hypnotic Siren. What's he going to use Echoing Truth on? Oblivion Ring. Okay. We're okay with that, I think. We can use it on the Lightning Greaves all over again if we want to. So he can also play his Desecration Demon, though, and put the Lightning Greaves on that, which would hurt, admittedly. And we won't be sacrificing a creature to Desecration Demon. We'll just be, he's playing it. So we'll put the Greaves on it, and we'll just take 6. We'll have to Oblivion Ring the Greaves again, and then Hypnotic Siren the Desecration Demon at some point. We're not going to sacrifice a creature. There's no reason to. No, I do not. And we take 6 to the face. Which does not feel especially good, but you do what you have to. All right, he's got the Solemn Simulacrum and Mist Intruder in his hand. Zer's Weirding. So if we can get our commander and play and protect her, we're in pretty good shape. But I do think we want to be removing these Lightning Greaves again. And I'll play Pride of the Clouds. I'll swing for 2 and then play Pride of the Clouds. Once we get our commander in play, and we know he has no removal in his hand, which we'll know because of telepathy, we can play our... he can still regenerate this, but we have like ways to steal it and bounce it are our primary forms of removal anyway, so putting this on and regenerating it isn't the end of the world for us. So we're going to get in for 2. We do not want to sacrifice a creature. And we will swing for 2. And we will play Pride of the Clouds. We really need to get the mana to steal this Desecration Demon, or we're going to be in trouble in the near future. But our Pride of the Clouds does get a little more power off of the Desecration Demon because it's all flyers. So if he plays Mist Intruder 2, we'll have a 4/4, and we'll be doing okay in the race. Stolen Identity. Dang. He doesn't have the mana. Oh, yeah, he does if he plays his Shrine. No, yeah, he'll get his second blue. So that's bad. We'll probably have to sacrifice a creature here to, and probably our Surveyor is what we'd sacrifice. to keep the cipher from happening. And then we'll steal whichever one he put the cipher on, assuming we draw a card. So that'll be a pretty sweet stolen card. We'll make our pride of the whatever. Oh, he went with Haven Surveyor. That's not good. Okay, and he's put the cipher there. So I think we still block here. Haven Surveyor, he still gets to bounce something, so we can't. So now he can put into play another copy of that. Do we wish to sacrifice a creature? I think we do, sadly. I think we really need to draw a land or we're pretty much out of luck. That is not a land, but it'll work for me. We shouldn't tap our mana like that, though. We should be doing it like this. We'll play our Dungeon Geists and tap this thing down. And the board is back in a state that I like it in. We do not wish to sacrifice a creature. And we will replay Pride of the Clouds. And end the turn. So we got out of that one. Tidings. So you can draw 3 cards, I think it is. Is it 4 or 3? I think it's 3. Freaking textless cards. Textless cards should be more ubiquitous than Tidings. I think Tidings used to be, but it's been outdone by so many other card draw spells. You know, it's a sorcery that I remember. Let's see how many he draws. I think it's 3. Goes from 2. Oh, no, it is 4. 5 to draw 4. It's a pretty good deal. It's worse than Harmonize, though. Okay, Thrill, Kill, Assassin. So none of these worry me too much. That just makes our Pride of the Clouds even larger. We do not wish to sacrifice a creature. Now we don't really want to be stealing this away from our opponent. There's no good reason to. It'll stay tapped down even when it's on our side, so... And that's not so great. I'm going to attack with our Pride of the Clouds. Oh, I should have played Isperia first, probably, because it would have done one more. But, especially because we know what's in his hand. We don't want to be attacking with our Geist, because he can double block and kill it. So if we can play Isperia, he doesn't draw removal this turn. We then play Zur's Weirding and get our lock. So that's what we have to do. And we'll end the turn there. If he draws removal here, we do not have a lock. And he did not. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Let's see what he's... All right, he's going to equip that, which is interesting. It'll make it so it keeps getting bigger, but it's tapped down, so we're not overly concerned about that. We can actually steal a creature still, should we decide we need to. All right. So the one thing we have to look out for is a Solemn Simulacrum. Oh, it's if a player would draw a card. We can even negate that draw. So we still do need to win the race in the air, but we would eventually because we'll still be getting a card every turn with Isperia, and our opponent will not. So unless he draws like a million cards and makes us pay like all of our life, I think we're in pretty good shape. Blood Artist could also slowly kill us or swing the race in his favor, but I think we've got this with Zur's Weirding. We do not wish to sacrifice a creature. See what he does here. Probably nothing, given that we know what's in his hand and he has no tricks. And we could just block and kill the Mist Intruder. He can double block our Isperia for a turn. So actually my plan is not quite as foolproof as I was thinking because he'll still have No, yeah, it is. He still won't have the chance to draw lands. We can now just play Archangel of Tides and prevent him from blocking her at all. But I think we attack with Pride and Isperia. We don't pay. And we'll attack with both of them. We actually won't necessarily keep drawing cards because the cards in his hand he can unload fairly quickly. But we can make sure he gets stuff like lands or spells that don't affect the board or things like that still with Zur's Weirding. So let's see what he does here. Plus Archangel of Tides will help swing things in our direction too, which we already have in our hand. And we can steal one of his creatures should we need to. All right, I expected a block. Wait, that'll also shrink our Pride, and we lose one. Pride of the Clouds, I mean, not like my actual Pride. He goes up to 25, we go up down to 32, and now we drop Zur's Weirding. And that should give us a lock. It's not guaranteed this time around because if he keeps playing out creatures, I mean, he can play this creature out. Well, it should still be a lock, more or less, barring something crazy happening. Even if he can unload his hand here, we should still have a lock because Isperia will be... If she's not netting us a card, he doesn't have any flying blockers anymore, and we can just swing for, 11 every turn. So he'll be dead pretty quickly from the Zur's Weirding. He may be realizing that now. All right. We're okay with that. Psychic Spiral. We're going to just put it in the graveyard. That does mean he can unload his hand this turn. Psychic Spiral wouldn't have been a big deal, but even if he unloads his hand this turn, I don't think we're in a huge amount of trouble. And he probably should. I mean, it keeps us from searching for things. He can at least have some creatures out there to start a clock, but it's a race we'll win in the long run, especially with our Archangel in our hand. And Hypnotic Siren, who can also steal one of his creatures if we desire. We do not wish to sacrifice a creature. He has not played his Thrill Kill Assassin yet. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, he'll gain life. We do not want to block Solemn Simulacrum, really. So I won't be. Yeah, we'll just take 2. I mean, we could still negate the draw, but if... Yeah, I probably should block him next time, maybe. But I feel like we're just going to win this race anyway, so there's no point in letting him draw there. Even if it means letting him draw like a land, which he couldn't play. I'm guessing he's going to unleash that since my creatures all fly. And he did. End hostilities. He might just give that to us. It's not that great right now. And he has to pay 2 life if he doesn't want us to have it, so... Seems to be deciding. I would probably just give it to me. Although I guess... No, yeah, I would just give it to me. I mean, he's never going to get anything else other than what's on the board unless he manages to do a lot of damage to me. Which seems unlikely since we can A, steal one of his creatures and play Archangel of Tithes. So yeah, he decided to give it to us. So I'm going to play the Archangel. It'll pump up our Pride a little bit. We do not want to sacrifice a creature. And we'll swing with everything. Abbey Matron. Doesn't have any cards in his hand, so it doesn't matter. But we have 3, 6, 9. We have lethal in the air. And we can steal his 1 flyer and just kill him in the air next turn. Deemer Key Rune. Yeah, we'll put it in his graveyard. So that should be game. We got the Zer's Weirding combo going again, which is pretty bad for our opponent. We didn't get to take much advantage of it because he didn't have like a card stuck in his hand, and we don't have a bounce spell. The thing that you can do is if you have one bounce spell in your hand, you can just keep chaining bounce spells, which allows for you to you keep getting bounced creatures. I mean, and then you're building up your air force, keeping your opponent from drawing anything, and eventually you just kill them with all of these 2/2s who bounce stuff. Right, we will take 4. And we'll use Hypnotic Siren here. Not sure what he's doing right now. Oh, he had to pay for Archangel. All right. Azorius Chancery probably lets us draw that. But he should be dead after we steal his creature. He knows we have this in our hand. So we go 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Cast with Bestow. Steal his blocker. Makes it bigger, too, for whatever that's worth. And that should be game. We have 6, 9, 12, yeah, 15 in the air. So that's game. I mean, obviously the ideal thing to do with this deck is get Zer's Weirding. You could put things in the deck that help you search for enchantments to set that up more often, but honestly, it's like the least fun way for the deck to win, so I actually tried to avoid that. But it is a cool lock that you can have that can pretty much win you at least any single-player game of Commander. It's less good in multiplayer Commander, but I'd rather win, by hitting a bunch of toolbox cards, which you didn't really get to do in this game, but that's okay. Anyway, that's another game with Isperia.